Welcome back, friends. We're honored to be joined by a member of the United States House of Representatives and the next governor of the great state of New York, the Honorable Elise Stefanik. Ma'am, good morning. Welcome to the broadcast.
Bob, great to be with you today.
How do you feel? You're kind of having one of those bigger days in life today, aren't you?
We are, the outpouring of support has been tremendous all across the state. People are excited. They already want to put up yard signs because people are unified, not just Republicans and independents, but Democrats as well want to fire Kathy Hochul to save our state. And I think our support in terms of over 70% of the Republican county committees is very important, the strong conservative party support, and just making sure we're focused on next November. So I'll be crisscrossing the state in the coming weeks as I've done, over the last year.
Is Elise Stefanik running for governor? Your focus laser sharp on a couple of extraordinarily important issues to New Yorkers.
Absolutely. The number one issue is affordability, and you saw that in the ad that I launched with today that people can see at my website, eliseforgovernor.com. New York is the most unaffordable state in the nation because of Kathy Hochul's leadership. We have the highest taxes, the highest energy prices, highest utility bills, grocery bills, insurance, rent, the list goes on. And it doesn't have to be that way. The reason why New York is the most unaffordable is because of the failed policies that she's put in place. I have a record of delivering historic tax cuts, the largest tax cut for New Yorkers in history in terms of the increase of the state and local tax deduction and the overall tax cuts that were in the bill signed into law by the president. I've been one of the top advocates for small businesses and reducing regulations and unleashing energy independence that we need to do right here in New York, which will particularly help upstate New York, particularly on the southern tier and even up into my area in central New York.
Is the great Elise Stefanik, member of the House, running for governor of the state of New York. Public safety on many people's minds, ma'am. What's your thinking there?
That's the other top issue is there is a crime crisis in New York State, and people understand it's a direct result of failed bail reform as well as the defund the police policies that have taken over today's Democrat Party. You have in Kathy Hochul a governor who's turned her back on our hardworking law enforcement officers and instead has prioritized violent criminals. And you have criminals a revolving door of being released back into communities, released into our streets, and committing heinous, violent crimes across the state. It's why you're seeing a mass exodus from law enforcement officers. Meanwhile, you have law enforcement agencies from other states around the country who, of course, are welcoming them, and yet New York is losing them. People want affordability and they want safety. You are correct, Bob. Those are the top two issues. That's why we're going to be talking a lot about the policies in place in New York that have failed New Yorkers, because these issues really cross party lines. And that's what's been most interesting over the past few months, the number of, I would call them traditional Democrats who voted for Hochul, donated to Hochul in the past. They said enough is enough after her endorsement of Mamdani in the mayor's race in New York City.
Elise Stefanik, a member of Congress running for governor. In elaboration of that, ma'am, a lot of folks, don't have to be Republicans. Two Democrats, two folks who don't have a party that they would pledge themselves to. What do you say? Why are you the right candidate for them, please, ma'am?
Well, when I ran for Congress over a decade ago, my district was a Democrat district, and I ran to bring fresh energy, new ideas, and results. And I have been overwhelmingly reelected, and it was held by a Democrat. We win not only Republicans, but Democrats and independents as well. This is a broad coalition. We also have been able to inspire the highest voter turnout in my congressional district than any other district in the country. People are looking for a leader in New York. This is really the last stand. This is the last stand. Lee Zeldin saw what was possible. He showed that it is possible when he defied all the odds, all the pollsters, and came within 6 points. But think about how much worse New York has gotten just over the past 4 years when Kathy Hochul has been at the helm. She was an accidental governor who squeaked through and was really unknown because she was a lieutenant governor. This time we know her failed policies. We're offering an agenda that is common sense and crosses party lines. Do you want to cut taxes? Do you want to support law enforcement? Do you want safety in our streets? Better schools? Have a government that actually works for the people instead of the rampant corruption and the waste, fraud, and abuse? There is a lengthy list of these policies that are going to be discussed this next year.
Outstanding. There's a great Elise Stefanik. How running for governor, how can we help you, ma'am? Where do we learn more? If we want to volunteer, contribute, stuff like that, what do we do?
Well, Bob, I'm going to need your help. I have followed many of your articles that you've published in the past and recently, and I'll tell you, we agree that we need to rebuild from the ground up the Republican apparatus in New York State. We were in a position where we had to do so in the 15 counties that are in my very large district in New York 21. And we did that from the ground up, working with local candidates, and we need to make sure that we turn out our vote. If you look at the electorate across New York, Kathy Hochul got 3.1 million votes. You know how many Trump got? He got nearly 3.6 million. So, yes, he lost the state, but there are those voters that need to be inspired to turn out. And then so many of Kathy Hochul's donors are going to leave her because she's failed them. It's false promises. She's turned her backs on them. The way people can get involved is go to EliseForGovernor.com. They can follow me on social media at Elise Stefanik. We'd love to have volunteers. We'd love to have support. And there's already so much energy and enthusiasm.
And a last question, I'll let you go. We so appreciate your time. Is Elise Stefanik, member of the House, running for governor? No disrespect to the governor, and she and I are approximately the same age, but you are you are a new and rising generation. Is there significance in that, please, ma'am?
Absolutely. What's interesting is when there started to be reporting that I was considering running for governor, Kathy Hochul's team is trying to rebrand her as a moderate mom from upstate. I am a mom from upstate. Kathy Hochul is a grandmother, and she's been in office and has failed upwards. She was fired after her first term in Congress. She is only an accidental governor because Cuomo stepped down. We have a record of delivering over a decade, of putting upstate New York and the North Country on the map at a national level, at the highest level, with a laser focus of delivering results. And I'm proud to be from upstate, grew up in a small business family. I am a mom of a young 4-year-old son, Sam, who I love, who is so important to me and is what is driving me to do this, because I want him to be able to live in New York. He was born here. I want him to be able to grow up here, raise a family, start a business, and achieve his wildest dreams. And that's not available in Kathy Hochul's New York. So I do think this is going to be a generational debate. Next year will be 20 years since our last Republican governor in Pataki, and